What if the future you think you know, the one shaped by world leaders, public summits, and glossy headlines, is only a performance? What if Davos, those iconic images of snow-covered mountains, billionaires shaking hands, presidents giving speeches, isn't the center of power at all, but the stage? What if real influence doesn't wear name tags, doesn't live stream speeches, and doesn't need your approval? Tonight, we're not asking who is in charge. We're asking something far more uncomfortable. Who benefits when no one is watching? Every year, cameras descend on Davos. Leaders of governments, CEOs of global corporations, tech visionaries, philanthropists, they speak of cooperation, of climate, of equality, of a shared future. And yet, ask yourself this. After decades of summits, declarations, and pledges, why does the world feel more divided, not less? Why do economic gaps widen? Why do conflicts persist? Why does power seem more concentrated than ever? Davos gives us visibility, but visibility isn't control. It gives us faces, but not levers. Some critics argue Davos functions less as a decision-making body, and more as a public interface, a place where power is displayed, not where it is truly exercised. So if Davos is the tip of the iceberg, what lies beneath? Long before corporations, long before nation-states, power had a different form. Bloodlines, dynasties, families whose influence survived empires rising and collapsing. History records organizations that operated in secrecy, the Knights Templar, the Rosicrucians, exclusive orders bound by symbols, oaths, and shared knowledge. Were they merely relics of superstition and myth, or early prototypes of something more enduring? Throughout history, power rarely disappears. It evolves, it changes names, it changes structures, but it keeps one rule sacred: control the information, and you shape reality. Some researchers suggest that modern influence networks didn't emerge from nowhere. They inherited methods refined over centuries: discretion, loyalty, long-term thinking, not elections, not popularity, but continuity. Today, power rarely announces itself. It wears neutral language: policy briefs, research grants, philanthropy, think tanks, private foundations, invitation-only forums. These aren't secret in the cinematic sense. They're hidden in plain sight. They shape narratives before laws are written. They define problems before solutions are debated. Who funds them? Who sits on multiple boards? Why do the same names keep appearing across media, finance, policy, and technology? This is where influence compounds. Data becomes foresight. Foresight becomes policy. Policy becomes inevitability. And by the time the public votes, the framework is already built. This isn't about a single group controlling everything. It's about networks, overlapping, self-reinforcing, and largely unaccountable. And they don't need secrecy. They rely on complexity. Look at moments in recent history. Financial crises where institutions were rescued, while individuals paid the price. Technological shifts rolled out faster than public understanding. Policies introduced despite widespread resistance, yet framed as inevitable. Coincidence or alignment? When decisions consistently benefit the same long-term interests across different governments, across opposing political parties, you begin to notice patterns, not proof of conspiracy, but evidence of coordination. The battle isn't just for resources anymore. It's for attention, for data, for defining what it means to be human in an automated future. Who decides that future? And more importantly, who never has to ask permission? True power doesn't announce itself. It convinces you it doesn't exist. If something feels too complex to question, too abstract to challenge, you stop resisting. Distraction becomes defense, outrage cycles, culture wars, endless debates over surface-level issues. Meanwhile, structural decisions continue quietly. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Because the most effective systems don't use force. They use consent without understanding. So what can be done? It starts with skepticism, not cynicism. Learning to ask, who benefits? Who funds this? What assumptions are being smuggled in as facts? Media literacy isn't optional anymore. It's survival. Transparency doesn't come from institutions offering it. It comes from people demanding it. History shows us this much. Power adapts, but it also reacts, and awareness changes the equation. Davos isn't a lie, it's a distraction, a carefully lit room, so you don't notice the rest of the building. The question isn't whether secret societies rule the world. The real question is simpler and more unsettling. How much of your future is being decided without your participation? If this made you think, stay curious. Because the moment you stop asking questions is the moment someone else answers them for you.